Okay, listen dear students. What is electron affinity or what is electron gain enthalpy? So both the meaning is same. Okay, electron affinity you have to call no problem, or electron gain enthalpy you have to call no problem. Okay students, don't think about electron affinity is different from electron gain enthalpy. Electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy means same only. Gaining means what it is, giving, energy is giving, means energy is releasing. Okay, so that only you have to keep it in your mind. Electron gain enthalpy means electron releasing energy, means it releasing energy. When it energy will be released by the addition of one electron. See, X is neutral state gaseous atom. We are adding one electron to the X is converted into X minus. In that case, released energy is known as electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. The amount of energy. The amount of energy released when an electron is added to neutral isolated gaseous atom or neutral gaseous state atom of an element is known as electron affinity. It is also called as first electron affinity. It is also called as a first electron affinity. So during this electron affinity process, what happens, my dear students? What we are observing based on the above statement, some energy is releasing when the neutral gaseous state atom is converted into mono-negative ion by the addition of electron. Okay, neutral gaseous state atom is converted into mono-negative ion. Mono-negative, mono means one, negative means one unit negative charge is present on neutral gaseous state atom. Means X is converted into X minus, and what X is converted into X minus, how it will be converted by the addition of one electron. That is known as electron affinity. So during this process, what happens? It is absorbing energy or releasing energy? Releasing energy. Ionization energy or ionization potential is absorbing energy. This is releasing energy. That's why the released energy we have to represent right side of the equation. Okay, so that's why EA1. The first electron affinity is exothermic process. First electron affinity is exothermic process. Then the delta H is minus EA1. Delta H is minus, means the energy we have to represent the enthalpy change will comes with negative sign. Then it indicates that exothermic process. It indicates that exothermic process. Okay, students, understood? So electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy is nothing but the amount of energy released when an electron is added to the neutral gaseous state atom. That released energy is known as electron affinity. So during this process, neutral gaseous state atom is converted into mono-negative ion, and it is exothermic process. It is a exothermic process. It is exothermic process. Okay, so this is the equation. Understood? This energy we have to measure in terms of joules or calories or kilocalories, electron volts, like different units are present for electron affinity, like ionization energy. Okay students, now second electron affinity means X minus is converted into X minus 2. See, this addition of one electron to the mono-negative ion is not that much easy. So we have to use more energy to overcome the repulsive forces between the X minus. Already X minus it has more electron density. So the X minus has more electron density. So you want to add one more electron, then what will happen? Repulsions will happen. Repulsions are more. So to overcome these repulsions, what I have to do? We have to use more energy. Then only the X minus is converted into X minus 2. In this case, released energy is very less, but the absorbed energy is more. When compared to released energy, absorbed energy is more. Because of to overcome these repulsive forces by the addition of an electron to the mono-negative ion is known as second electron affinity. That's why the second electron affinity is required energy or absorbed energy. The amount of energy required or absorbed. The amount of energy required or absorbed to the addition of one electron to the mononegative ion is called electron affinity. Second electron affinity, A2. Hence, the second electron affinity is endothermic process. Why it is endothermic process? Because the repulsive forces are very high. To overcome these repulsive forces required more energy. Okay. So repulsive forces are more, hence it requires required more energy. That's why the second electron affinity is endothermic process, not exothermic process. That is very, very important. But ionization energy, the first or second or third or fourth, all are endothermic process only. But electron affinities, mostly we can add one electrons or two electrons. Third electron affinity, fourth electron affinities are not possible. Okay, keep it in your mind. Now, so mostly either third electron affinity, fourth electron affinities are present also, then those all are endothermic process only. Those all are endothermic process only. Only first electron affinity or electron affinity is a exothermic process. The remaining second electron affinity, third electron affinity, the remaining electron affinities all are endothermic process only because the repulsive forces are very high. To overcome the repulsive forces, we have to utilize, we have to use more energy. That's why the second electron affinity, third, fourth, those all are endothermic process only. Understood? Anybody have doubt? Let inform to me immediately. Abhay, Rani, Ashwini, Bhagya, Dania, Afzal. X ma Nishchal. X is like just any element. Here I said X, maybe you take oxygen, then O minus like one gaseous state atom. Means the atoms we have to convert into gaseous state. That gaseous state atoms we are adding one electron. It is known as first electron affinity. And more electron we are adding, that is second electron affinity. In the first electron affinity process, it releasing energy. The second electron affinity process, it absorbs energy. It absorbs energy. That's why the first electron affinity process is exothermic. The second electron affinity process is endothermic. Okay, clear students? Mr. Clear ma? Yes, very good. It is very, very important concept ma. Don't neglect. Okay, let's listen. Afzal. Afzal off center. Afzal. Okay. So this is about first and second electron affinity. Now we'll discuss about the factors. What are the factors affecting the electron affinity or first electron affinity? After that, how it is various in groups and periods we will discuss. It's very easy only. Just the electron affinity changing in groups and periods is like ionization energy. But both are reverse process. Ionization energy is absorbed energy. Electron affinity is releasing. Means it is that is exothermic. This is endothermic. That is only difference. Okay, let's listen carefully. Important factors. What are the important factors? Okay, the first one is atomic size or radius. Atomic size or radius. Electron affinity is inversely proportional to atomic size. See, if it is a little bit small size or intermediate size, then the nuclear attractive forces on valence electrons will be more, then we can add electron very easily. If size is increases, the electron attractive forces will be decreases, then the addition of electron is difficult. That's why the electron affinity is inversely proportional to atomic size or radius. Atomic size or radius. Next. Nuclear charge. Nuclear charge is directly proportional to electron affinity. Because nuclear charge is increases, the size will be decreases. Atomic size or atomic radius is inversely proportional to nuclear charge. That's why the nuclear charge is directly proportional to electron affinity. Now the third one is screening effect. Screening effect or shielding effect. So if screening effect is increases, then the attractive forces of the valence electrons by the nucleus is decreases, then obviously electron affinity will be decreases. So the electron affinity is inversely proportional to screening effect. Now the fourth one is very important. Electronic configurations. Electronic configurations. So this is different. The electronic configurations of an atom, their electron affinity values are different as well as ionization energy values are different. Okay. So here stable electronic configurations. Half filled or completely filled. Electronic configurations are stable. Okay, if the electronic configuration is very stable, it can accept electrons very easily. It cannot accept electrons very easily. If the atoms having stable electronic configurations, for example, just imagine, for example, you are eating food. Okay. For example, already you did lunch, maybe your breakfast is over, how much you are required, that much you are sufficiently eaten, means you are saturated, means you are stable. For example, some ex-person came, he ordered some food materials, he tried to give, just you eat like, will you able to eat ready? So you can't able to eat the food because already you ate, completed your either lunch or dinner, whatever it may be, or breakfast. Completely how much required, that much sufficiently ate. After that, if anybody are offered food also, you will be reject simply. You don't accept. In the same way, the electronic configuration, half filled or completely filled electronic configurations are stable electronic configuration. Are a stable electronic configuration. So, if that stable electronic configurations are present, stable electronic configurations, they cannot accept electron easily. Accept electron easily. See, for example, same food material only. You are already over either breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever it may be, you are finished. Some another person came and he gave food material. Just try to eat. First, what we'll say, we'll reject first. But he did force. What he used, he said forcefully eat, no problem, just eat a small little bit, like means what we'll do, we'll try to eat something. Same way, the stable electronic configurations are present. For that stable electronic configurations containing atoms, The addition of electron is very difficult. They cannot accept electrons very easily. Means the addition of electron is very difficult. So, but we are forced, we are applied more energy. Then what happens, ma'am? That they can accept electron, but during that process, energy will not be released. So it will be absorbed energy. That's why they cannot accept electrons easily. Hence, those elements electron affinity is those elements electron affinity is endothermic process. So the electron affinity of delta H is positive. This is exception case, in this case only. Examples: second A group NH2, next 50A group NH2 NP3 and zero group NH2 NP6. So whenever secondary group elements are present, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium. Delta means change the energy, change in the enthalpy. Symbol that is delta H. Already upside only written. Electron affinity. Delta H. The energy change is delta H is positive. The electron affinity values are positive values will come. Why? Because of their stable electronic configurations. Instead of releasing energy, they will be absorbed. So what type of elements, ma'am? Second A group elements, fifth A group elements, and zero group elements. Zero group elements are completely filled electronic configuration. Second A group elements, NS electrons are completely filled. And fifth A group elements, NP electrons are half filled. Because these are stable electronic configurations. Those stable electronic configurations containing elements, their electron affinity values or first electron affinity values is positive values. Delta H is a positive value, means endothermic process, or sometimes almost nearer to zero also. Means instead of negative values, their values are zero. Like beryllium, delta electron affinity value is zero. Nitrogen electron affinity value will comes positive value. Okay, or approximately zero also will comes. So this is one important exception based on electronic configurations factors. When the atoms are having half filled or completely filled electronic configurations are present, their electron affinity values are positive. Delta H values are positive because they have stable electronic configurations. Okay, now next we will discuss about the variation in groups and periods. This electron affinity, how it will be changes in a groups and periods. There also one small exception is present, that is very important. Okay. Okay. The electron affinity variation in groups and periods. Variation in groups and periods. First we will discuss about that in periods. In periods. In period left to right. In periods left to right, electron affinity. increases. Electron affinity increases because atomic size decreases. Atomic size decreases. Let's see the example. For example, second period elements: beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine. Don't take helium. Sorry, neon. Zero group elements, the electron affinity values are almost zero because they have stable electronic configuration. They cannot accept electrons. So among these, fluorine is more when compared to oxygen, then nitrogen, and then carbon, boron, and beryllium. This is the order. Okay. Now, let's see in a group. In a group, top to bottom, in a group top to bottom, electron affinity decreases. Electron affinity values are decreasing because atomic size increases. Atomic size increases. Okay, students, it's very clear. But here small exception is there. But in every group, third period elements, has more electron affinity. More electron affinity than second period elements. Okay. See, in every group, third period elements have more electron affinity than second period elements. Means examples. Let's see. The electron affinity of chlorine is more than fluorine. In the same group, chlorine is more because the chlorine is third period element. Fluorine is second period element. One more. Sulfur is more than oxygen, and phosphorus is more than nitrogen. Next, silicon is more than carbon. Silicon is more than carbon. Why it is happening means because second period elements atomic size is very small and having more interelectronic repulsions. Having more interelectronic repulsions. Due to its small size and more interelectronic repulsions, fluorine cannot accept electron very easily when compared to chlorine, and oxygen cannot accept electron very easily when compared to sulfur. Same way phosphorus and nitrogen. That's why in every group, third period elements having more electron affinity when compared to second period elements. Okay, let's see. I will explain you the diagram. For example, fluorine and chlorine. This is fluorine. This is chlorine. So in fluorine atom, how many valence electrons are present? 7 valence electrons are present. 2, 4, 6, 7. So electron density is more. Small size, electron density is more. So hence, by the addition of electron, it increases, repulsions are more. Repulsions are more means automatically the addition is very difficult. If repulsions are more, that's why electron affinity of chlorine is more when compared to fluorine. Now let's see, here also 7 electrons. 7 electrons, but electron size is more. Size is a little bit more when compared to fluorine. Okay, and electron repulsions are less. Inter-electronic repulsions. Inter-electronic repulsions are less. Hence, can accept electron easily. Can accept electron easily. So we can add electron easily. That's why in every group, third period elements having more electron affinity when compared to second period elements in their group. That's why chlorine is more than fluorine, sulfur is more than oxygen, and phosphorus is more than nitrogen, as well as silicon is more than carbon. Like these are some examples. Now, among the periodic table, highest electron affinity is present for chlorine, Cl. Okay, highest electron affinity is present for a chlorine, and lowest electron affinity is present for helium. Helium cannot accept electrons, very small size and stable electronic configurations. Okay, and let's see electron affinity order. Seventh A group elements. Chlorine is more than fluorine, and then bromine, and then iodine. So this is extreme. Chlorine is more when compared to fluorine. The remaining will be decreases. In the same way, first A group elements. Lithium, sodium. Lithium, sodium. Here oxide will comes. Next, potassium, rubidium, and then cesium. In the same way, 68 group elements. Sulfur is more than oxygen. Oxygen, sulfur, tellurium, and then tellurium, and then polonium. So, like in a group, top to bottom, electron affinity decreasing, but third period elements having more electron affinity when compared with say second period elements. What is the reason? Because the second period elements are small size. Due to the presence of small size, having more inter-electronic repulsions, the addition of electron is very difficult. Okay, so this is about electron affinity and important factors and variation in groups and periods. Okay, next periodic property is electropositivity. Next one is electropositivity. or electropositive nature. What is electropositivity or electropositive nature? Means it is the relative tendency to lose electrons. It is the relative tendency to lose electrons is known as a electropositivity. Okay. If size increases, the electropositivity increases and the metallic nature increases. Okay, what is electronegative? Electropositivity. Electropositivity is nothing but it is the relative character. Next periodic property. After electron affinity, next periodic property is electropositivity. Electropositivity definition is nothing but it is the relative tendency of an atom to lose electrons, means loss of electrons. Means for example M, loss one electron converted into positive charge. Means the loss of electrons or removing of electrons. Which atom can lose electrons very easily? That electrons are more electropositive. So generally size increases, then that electrons